With this video, we introduce exercise 3 to you. Exercise 3 is mostly about measuring and calculating slopes. Because we're in an unusual time where not everybody can get access to equipment, we simplified this exercise and removed the measuring part. Instead, we provide videos to you so that you could watch them and get a sense of what the surveying in the field looks like. So this exercise has two parts. The first part asks you to calculate slopes based on the parameters we provided for you and estimate distances with the Google Earth Pro application on your computer for the locations shown on the map. So there are in total about 11 locations where you are to either calculate or estimate slope, distances, or areas for these 11 locations. The second part is basically filling the blanks, calculate the missing measurements based on the provided parameters given to you. So for the first part, even though you won't be able to have the opportunity to measure the slopes in the field, please watch this YouTube video so you have a basic sense of what process look like. And you will be able to know what these equipment are and how to properly use them. We intentionally picked some of the very simple ones, 1 to 2 minute video for this measurement. Is a simple method of using tape measures, line levels, and strings, lines, to be able to measure slopes. Because you're not to measure them in the field this semester per se. So instead, we provide you with the parameters that you will need to complete part 1. And notice all the numbers that are written on top of the line, the horizontal line there, represents h. It doesn't represent distance on the ground, okay? It represents the horizontal difference, which is the h. And the numbers written beside the plus sign are the vertical differences, okay? So one of them is 0, which means that's the lower point. The other one is exactly the vertical differences between the 2 points from which we ask you to calculate the slope. So it's really simplified in the way that you only need to directly apply the slope formula. In terms of the items within the red boxes, we identified them out for you so that you know for which ones you should use Google Earth Pro to estimate either a distance or an area. Okay, so using the measure function to measure the line for the example here, A, estimate the distance of line A, which is the length of the Sala building. For area calculations, you could either use the equation here, area equals to length multiplied by width, measure both length and width from the Google Earth Pro application, and then multiply them together, or you could use the function directly in Google Earth Pro, the polygon. Another thing that we want you to get familiar with through this exercise is how to measure long distances by pacing. So again, this one you would not be able to do it in the field for exercise 3, which is totally fine. But you can totally just try it out in your yard or in a relatively large open space close to where you live. Start by watching this YouTube video that introduces you to some basic principles for pacing a distance. This is one that is very detailed. Although it is using the metric system, I think it doesn't hurt to know the system that other countries are using. So this is a good start to watch the video and become familiar with pacing a distance, a skill that will become very useful when you go field visits and you would like to know the dimensions of the space if you feel that there are a lot to learn about the design of that space.